again. I am Linda Meyer, and the segue that I'm going to kind of go on today is going to be based on dreaming. Now, let me remind you, if you're a part of Mary Kay or in Mary Kay, this company was started by Mary Kay Ash, who started this company way back when on a dream for a company that would help women. Now, that's what our whole root system is in this business itself. So when I sat here today thinking about, how I could maybe get something out there for women that would just really help you, it's going to go back to just plain, simple, talking about a dream. Now, with that in mind, I grabbed a book recently out of a store, and I'm going to give Joyce Meyer a little credit, but in this book that she's talking about, 20 ways to make every day better, one of the whole chapters revolves around being able to dream. And it says, hold fast to dreams, for dreams die. Life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly if you cannot hang on to your dreams. Okay? It talks about stuff like that. She makes comments that one of the best things we can do in order to make every day better is to start dreaming again. How about that one? John Maxwell is quoted in this book that says, a dream without a positive attitude produces a daydreamer. Even a positive attitude person without a dream produces a pleasant person who can't progress. How about that one? It goes on to say that every day we just have to really brush off your dreams and start every day with a basic concept called start to dream again. And I think if I had to be real honest, looking over my life, I think as you go through life and we have kids and we get in jobs and we just get in the rat race of life, I think we forget to dream. We forget to use that imagination. There's a lot of power in imagination. So with being in Mary Kay, you're going to find out that dreaming is a big thing. But here's what I'd have you think about. As I start out this year, my goal with women, especially in my future national area and in my unit, is to help everyone have their very best year ever. I'm passionate about that goal this year. And why I think is because if I could have that dream to stir up the best in a lot of women, we will have our best year ever as a unit. But the reality of that will happen if I take a look at every single person, every single one of you guys that's possibly watching this today, and just try and bring out your best. So it's all going to be this year based around having your best year ever and bring out the best in yourself as a woman. So with that in mind, here's what I'm going to talk about. We have to start with every single day to produce a good month, to produce a good year, to bring out your best in that good year concept. Okay? So we're going to take it right down to the day. What I would have you think about when you're thinking about dreaming. Dream is just a big word. It sounds just dreaming. But how you really start dreaming is, I would sit down, if you never did today, and I would make yourself a someday list. I have this crazy list. You are going to laugh when you see this list, that I made when I was a new consultant probably over 30 years ago. And I pulled this list out recently. And the last thing I just finished on my list, and I put down 9 things. This was when I was so new in Mary Kay that oh my gosh, it was called my someday list. So if you've never made a someday list, I want you to sit down with a piece of paper and make a someday list of whatever goes through your mind. Because until you start dreaming like that, until you start wishing, wanting, okay, that's what I'm talking about. But make your someday list. And just today, 30 years later, I just finished the last thing on my list. And that seems crazy. So it's now a reality check for me that today, before the day is over, I will be making me a new someday list. Because I need to dream even bigger. So I'm going to encourage you to make your own someday list. And I have kept this list underneath the blotter of my desk for many, many years. But I just had to laugh when I went through it today and the last thing was finished on it. So I don't care how long it takes you to finish your dreams. But I want you to first make your someday list. Okay? And then, how we're going to get this dreaming thing under control, how you really work with it is, you have to really be clear on goals. Goals is dreaming. Goals is sitting there saying, what do I want? What do I want to do? Now, some things are going to be very, tangible. Like a pink Cadillac that I dreamed about and a diamond ring. And they were just physical things. But in physical things, good things happen. So don't be scared to dream about those even physical things. Okay? But I want you to really think about your goals in Mary Kay. I want you to think about those long-term goals. Long-term goals will keep you going when in the daily rat race of trying to build this business, everything gets all messed up. And you miss your goals. And people disappoint you. And round and round and round you go. So remember, it's the long-term goals. It's that on my list many, many years ago to say, I wanted to be a director. That was a starry-eyed goal of mine when I joined this company. And now I sit here being a director way, way, way over, I don't know how, years and years and years. 30 years being a sales director. So, but that was so starry-eyed when I made that goal. So long-term, keep you going when the short-term are all messed up and you are missing them and missing the mark all the time. So those long-term ones are huge. So actually put it on paper because they say 80% will come to pass if you write it down. Mine's now 100%. I'm excited about that. So 80% will come to pass if you write it down on paper. So I hope you have a pen and today and you sit down and you grab your scratch paper and you keep your someday list somewhere. 80%. We better make a bigger list, shouldn't I? So I'm making my new list today. So, but that's those long-term ones. The big pie in the sky ones you think, oh my gosh, that new house, the big ones. College educations, a vacation to Disney World, I don't care. The big ones you think, oh my gosh, if we could only do that. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Those are going to keep the fire hot, okay? The immediate goals. Then you might need to sit down with myself or with your sales director if you're possibly not in my national area and really zero in on the immediate ones. What do I need to do right now by the end of this month? What do I need to do today? Zero down on some immediate goals. Getting to their red jacket. Getting to do 10 appointments in the calendar month. Getting to do some of the benchmarks that you probably are going through your head right now that you even know what to do. Okay, those are called immediate goals. You have to have them if you want to get to the big stuff. And then another one that I really always like to point out to women too is, if I ask every woman, what's your dream for your family? Or what's your dream for yourself personally even? You and your husband and your kids. Whatever that is, whatever your family looks like. What is your family dream for yourself or your future family? How does that picture look? Someday if the garage door went up, what's going to be in your garage door? That kind of dreaming. Okay? The dream to take those kids to Disney World. The dream to, I could go on to dream. I'm a big dreamer. But why I ask what the family dream is because now, over working with women for over 30 years, I really believe that's what moves women more than anything. Women are wired to work for our families. Women are wired to work with our husbands. Women are wired to help that other person. So don't ever forget that. So if you don't every day kind of almost sit back and revisit that dream of what's the big thing in Mary Kay that I'm working for? What am I getting that money for? Okay? When you can identify it and you can connect the dot from here to here on what's really hit your heart, that's what's going to get you out of bed every morning. That's what's going to make you start to want to work Mary Kay on a Monday morning. Nobody has to talk me into working any single day ever. Okay? So I would definitely have you take a look at what's that family dream, because that's a big one for you. Okay? So now that we got the concept of dreaming, and that dreams happen because you set goals. Clear goals. And if you need help with that, find somebody that can help you with setting your goals. And it is good too. Once you write it down on a piece of paper, then you do have to tell somebody. A dream is kind of just, dreams and goals are just kind of out there until you really tell somebody. Because once you tell somebody, it's not a secret no more. So I want you to tell somebody your goals and your dreams. Now, let's think about, how we're going to track this dream and how we're going to track these goals. You have to find some of the contests that Mary Kay is so good at having, some of the contests I do as a sales director. Find some of the daily tracking. How you get to dreams is you learn to track. You have to learn to track that good old weekly summary sheet with the goal of having a $300 or $1,000 week on there every single week. we have to track. A tracked number gets done. So if you just want to say, yeah, I can sit here and dream all you want, a dreamy day, that's all great and fine, isn't it? But the tracking gets you to the dreams. So if I had actually asked you today, what are you tracking? What are you tracking to get to the dreams? Some things better say. If you're a newer consultant watching this, it better be like those original little coupon books that looked so simple when you got started, but have a lot of power in them. Some of you guys that have been around a while could probably go through those coupon books again, and start over and start your business over many, many times. I'm known for tracking women to have what they call a 10-10 in a month, and that's 10 appointments and talk to 10 people about doing Mary Kay in a calendar month. That's huge. That will get you to where you want to go in the big things Mary Kay. Tracking the quarterly reports that we talk about all the time. If you don't know what that means, you can call me and I'll go over that. I'm not going to cover that because there's another segue on that on my site, so you can watch that. But know what you are tracking today. Okay, that will be huge because remember, a tracked number gets results. Also, I'd ask yourself, not only did you make a someday list to start that dreaming, but do you have a goal poster? Do you have things in your head? I mean, if you looked around my office, I have a crown sitting here on my desk to remind me. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be the queen, because in Mary Kay, when you strive and you get good things going, other people do very well. I have little pieces of the director suit laying here on my desk because it reminds me I am building sales directors. Okay? Because I have to remember whose dream is attached to my dream. So I lay those on my desk. I have things all over me every single day to keep me zeroed in. To be $1 million director. I have a plaque over here that says this. Okay? So I would ask yourself, do you have the goal posters? Do you have the visuals around you? Everywhere. In the bathroom, in the car, in the office, on the date book. Okay, that's where you have to have continuous goals to jog you back in, because life is full of distractions. Okay? There's always going to be things every single day that's going to try and stop you from reaching your goals. So that's why you have to have the visual going. And also you have to have the visual going because part of the brain, like I'll tell you, part of the brain works on, I'm not by means a professional on this, but part of the brain works on pictures. And part of it works on facts. So we do have to dream in facts. A $300 week, a $1,000 week. 3 people on your team, 24 people to be a sales director. We have to have the numbers over here. The part of the brain says, okay, I got it. I can read numbers. That motivates this part of the brain. And the other part of the brain is all looking at the picture of you and your family going to Disney World. Looking at the picture of your new red Corvette. Looking at the picture of your brand new house. Looking at the picture of you fill in the blank. That's the other part of the brain. So when I talk about dreaming and setting goals, are you really using both parts of your brain? I hope you are. So do some of the little things that I just told you today, and I think it will help you tremendously. And another thing that I'm going to kind of end with is just with this kind of thought process. As you set dreams, the bigger the better. And I really believe that God wants us to get a lot out of life. He doesn't want us down here living in mediocrity and doing little things with your life. I really believe we're put on this earth to do great things and make a difference out there in this world. But in the book that I'm reading also here too, it talks about when you set these dreams, you'll be challenged. Okay? Setting dreams and wanting great things in life, you will be pushed against the grain. There will be a pushback. You will have to push back a lot in life. But when you push back against the grain and push back on these dreams and push back when you get the negative and push back when you get the no's, that is where the muscle is created to make you a stronger person. So I'm a total believer. It is healthy to dream big. It is healthy to want a lot in life, to make a difference out there in this world. But in this book it says, again, once we set these dreams, it reminds us, dreams are never reached without a struggle. There will be that pushback. There will be all kinds of things come up in your way. But it reminds us, don't be stopped by circumstances that make it look impossible. Okay? Again, dreams are never reached without a struggle. It reminds us to take a tiny step every day. I got to this whole list being finished one day at a time, not any other way. Also, it reminds us in here to make sure that when you're looking at your dreams and your goals, make sure to take people along with you. We are in a company that is, the career path is based around nothing happens until you help someone else. How is that for healthy mentality in this world today? So it reminds us in this book to pray, to take others with you on your dream. You know, to pray every day, you know, God, lead me to the women who need what I have to offer in life. So don't be scared to ask that kind of stuff. And I'll end with this little theory. It says, dreaming big dreams is part of our spiritual DNA. It's rooted in hope and filled by faith. Okay? And it says, God doesn't allow us to dream. He created us to dream. And I believe that. So, you know, examine your day, every single day, and really ask yourself, you know, am I out there working on my dreams? And it reminds us also on this page that I'm looking at right now that says, dream about where God can take you. Dream about what God can teach you. Dream about how God can change your situation in life. And dream about how high you can go and how many people you can help. If you start dreaming, it says in here, your joy will increase. And I believe that. Because when you dream in Mary Kay, you go out to build this business big and bad, you will take people along the way because there's no other way to get to the top of Mary Kay unless you take somebody else with you. So that's what I love about dreaming in Mary Kay. That's what I love about it. And I have a little sign on my desk. And it says, God would not have put a dream in your heart if he hadn't already given you everything you need to fulfill it. And then for some of you, maybe it's just not new, but you've been in Mary Kay in a while and you're watching this. It also says, one of my favorite things that keeps me going every day, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So I hope that helps somebody. Get dreaming, get your list made, and let's get to work to have your very best year ever right along by my side. Thanks.